Welcome to tonight's gala. The Topeka Active 2030 Club raises funds every year for children's charities. Throughout the years, we have contributed over $1 million to help meet the needs of children in our community. Tonight, we would like to show you some of the charities we supported this year and hear from those who we helped. We are proud of the work we do, and we hope you will see why the children of Topeka are so very special to the 2030 Club. Thank you for attending tonight's gala.
The international motto is youth to be served must serve. And our slogan, man never stands so tall as when he reaches down and kneels for a child. And it's those moments, the Christmas for Kids, the Coats for Kids, supporting these endeavors that a lot of these charities have. This is what our club's about.
If we can have any type of positive influence, on one of these kids in the short time that we get to spend with them through these events, then that's terrific. That's just carrying on our mission, and that's exactly what we want to do.
Well, back in 2006, the Kansas Children's Discovery Center came to us, and at that point they were kind of in the initial stages of raising money for this concept. And with our mission of benefiting children and children's charities, it just seemed like a natural fit. It was fantastic at the groundbreaking to know that 2030 was involved essentially since the beginning with the Kansas Children's Discovery Center, and then to be at the groundbreaking with all those guys in their red shirts with their young children, putting their hands in the concrete and everything. It was extra special seeing that obviously we're benefiting the community, but it was a direct benefit to our members and their children right there that day. It was neat they asked us to be a part of that.
The Village is a group home for at-risk teens or at-risk kids that gives them a home-like setting to get away from their environment or the troubles that they may have been in. I am actually a house parent with my wife, and our 5-year-old boy lives with us. And we are the house parents for the kids. We just provide the daily needs that the kids are, that they have not been provided before maybe. If the kids that we have at the villages weren't at the villages, I wouldn't want to think where they could be.
There were a couple of members that were at the Christmas for Kids and had noticed that a couple of the kids had shown up on a really cold morning in December without coats. And so a couple of the members took the kids over and not only purchased a toy for them, but also purchased the kids' coats. We then had the idea that we would perhaps replicate our Christmas for Kids with our Coats for Kids, and we've been doing that for about 3 years now.
They bought all the kids' coats. They let them pick out their own coats, and the kids were ecstatic. They were happy, excited. Some of them had never even owned a coat before. Even though some of them didn't even know what the group name was at the time that was doing it, they still knew that somebody was out there giving something back to them that maybe they'd never had.
I really appreciate the chance to come out here and just to meet everybody here and just enjoy coming out with everybody and friends and being able to get a jacket.
I really appreciate them coming out and buying all this stuff for us and giving us kids that need help, coats and everything, because some at our house really don't have coats, and we just really appreciate it.
The 2030 Club is really great. Thank you guys for helping us get coats and kids who don't have really any. Thank you a lot, and hope you can continue doing it and make positive changes in kids' lives.
Well, the children in foster care come in for a variety of reasons. It could be abuse, neglect in their homes. Their parents may be struggling with drugs or alcohol. Sometimes children are abandoned. Sometimes their parents are ill or disabled and just can't care for them. And so then the community steps in to make sure those kids have a safe home. The foster parents really have the big job of explaining to them what's going on, what's going to happen from here, where they're going to sleep, where they'll go to school, who their brothers and sisters will be in that home. So it's a big job for a foster parent to explain what's going on.
I am a foster parent, and so my husband and I are just a resource home for TFI. So we're a mother and father for any child that TFI assigns to us. I have a 10-year-old, and I have an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old. So it's 2 girls and a little boy. These particular children came into custody because of abandonment and neglect. They were in a home where the parents had left, and they were all in the house by themselves. There was no running water, no electricity, and no food. Also drugs in the home. There was times where the oldest one, who really takes a parental role because she was left with the rest of the children, and being the oldest, there was times where she took them outside and they had to eat grass just to survive. These children are ready for their forever home, so we talk to them about their forever mother and their forever father. They will tell us, these have been with us 3 years, so they will tell us, but we don't want to leave you. But we tell them that you have to go, and that they'll say, well, why can't we stay? And then we'll say, if all the children that we've had stayed, then we would have never been able to have you. So we want you to go on to the forever family so we can wait for the next babies to come through. So they tug with that, but they understand it because they all remember where they come from, where they are, and they try to imagine where they're going.
TFI represents, collectively, the kids represent the groups we want to help. And we have set up that Christmas for Kids campaign 3 or 4 years ago. And the smiles on these kids' faces, because they've never had this opportunity to get a present that they get to pick out. Mom and Dad may not have had the opportunity to do that, and the club gives each kid the opportunity to go into Walmart and pick out whatever they want. And at the end of the day, yes, we help some kids out, but just seeing the smiles on their faces as they walk out, it's just an amazing feeling, and it's addictive, and we want to do it over and over again every year.
I'll never forget it as long as I live. We walked into the store, and there were all these men in red shirts and blue jeans, and they were tall, and they were handsome, and they were young. And I'll never forget it. When we walked in, they were like knights in shining armor almost, and they were everywhere. Christmas
was a special day for us. Some of these kids don't get that. Christmas may be just another day of the week for them. We provide an experience where the kids come in. Walmart's been great. They bring in a Santa for us. They have donut and juice there as they're shopping around. They're quote-unquote VIPs for that moment. And, it's those little intangibles, although they don't mean much to us, maybe a donut and some juice and seeing a Santa, it means the world to those kids, because those things they just don't get to see.
And it made me feel so good to see men, because there are so many men that just don't have that role. And it was just so breathtaking to see it. They were so gentle. Men are a great example of somebody's daddy. So they realized that they belong to somebody, so they connected. So for a few minutes, they were their daddy, going through the store, getting Christmas toys. So yeah, there's somebody's daddy.
The breakfast after the Christmas for Kids is kind of one of the fun things. In the beginning, I don't think we did, but after a while, it was like, why not? We got them here in the morning. Let's give them a good meal. And the pad, the past couple of years, has stepped up and provided a great meal. And it's just a perfect, most casual opportunity for us guys to get to know the kids, even just for a brief moment, to kind of step into their world and maybe give them a lift up for what the situation is. But it's the easiest way that we can casually share something together and kind of wrap up the day and walk home and feel like you did something amazing today.
So we kind of walked in, and sure enough, there was those tall, handsome men in the red shirts standing in there, and they walked up to us. They told us where to go. They helped us with our plates, and we just ate. And when we got through eating, they would say, "Well, there's plenty of more. Do you want more?" And they would serve us, So it was like red carpet. I did a little research because I didn't know about them. And I realized they've done so much for the community, and that they just embrace and wrap their arms around all the children. So I know that that the 2030 is a wonderful club. It has to do with youth and being young, and I'm so glad that they're able to run around the community and love on the children and help while they're young men. So when they become old men, like the 80-90 Club, that they'll have something just to glow about.
Thank you, 2030 Club.
Thank you, 2030.
I will never forget you as long as I live. Thank you, and we love you.